This episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 6, the season 11 of American Horror Story NYC, titled The Body. So, the body, what could it be? Well, basically, a body believed to be one of, evidently, someone's victim washes ashore on Fire Island, and that's how episode 6 starts. Now, because Patrick is the only gay cop to actually, look into certain things, he gets a call. And curiously, his next call is to Sam. Yeah, Zachary Quinto's character. So, okay, it's like, what's happening? All of a sudden, you two have a history now? All right. So, Gino goes and follows Patrick out and sees Patrick getting in the car with Sam and driving off. Gino's like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? Now, Gino goes back to his apartment and is confronted by Henry, Dennis O'Hare's character. We find out Henry is actually a hitman working for the mafia. And he, in the previous, a few scenes earlier, he's met by one of the mafia heads who says that Gino's getting too close with everything. We might lose some business on some gay bars. You need to shut this thing down now. So Henry goes and confronts Gino, and Gino says to Henry, listen, Patrick's left. He on Fire Island because something happened with a body. Okay. So Patrick and Sam get there, and it's like, oh God, can you remember this place? He was like, yeah, it was the drugs. Patrick's like, it's always the drugs. And you're like, what? Flashback happens. 1979. We find out that Sam and Patrick met while Patrick went to a party of Sam's, and they got together. They hooked up with this young kid, and they went down into the so-called dungeon. I'm going to just call it Sam's dungeon. This young kid volunteers to be that one to receive the other end of things, and Sam puts the mask over him, puts him in this thing that one of those crazy Renaissance looking contraptions from the old days, and they just start having fun with him. But then he dies. The young kid dies. So then what happens? Sam has to make a call. And who is that call to? That call is to Henry. Wait a minute, what's happening here? Does everyone know each other? Yes, they do all of a sudden. Now, I'm going to stop here with my reveal of what's happening because this episode was so, I want to say, interesting to a way where there's more twists and turns that you didn't believe, you didn't want to believe, but it was so well done. I always said that after episode 5, excuse me, that the series and the shows and the episodes get so boring. I am totally wrong. This is probably the best shock and twist episode I've seen in American Horror Story in the 11 seasons total. Because Henry calls in someone, a fixer or a cleaner, to clean the mess up that Sam and Patrick made. And the shocking factor is you find out who this fixer and cleaner is, and it's absolutely mind blowing. Didn't expect it at all. It made everything so clear, and it made everything clear to why Patrick was hiding things from Gino, and how Henry, was kind of this, secret hitman for the mob. And then Sam knows Patrick. So when you go back and watch the episodes where Sam and Patrick confront each other, then it gets more clear. So how does Sam know that Patrick is gay? We know now. And what's happening, what's interesting. The ending, Gino is in some kind of distress, and he calls Patrick and actually says to him, listen, I finally need you now. I need your help. So the whole aspect of how everything happened and how all the dominoes fell into an effect was absolutely insane and crazy. I absolutely had a great time watching this episode. And just the way the delivery was, and the way certain things were done, and the way this cleaner and fixer is cutting up the body, and the motion of how he's getting into it, the innuendos of the sexuality part of it, and we see the full aspect of his finished work is mind-blowingly crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, the aspect of them trying to find who did everything is really interesting, and seeing that flashback that Sam and Patrick had back in 1979, who and how everything happened, fantastic, phenomenal, and I'm curious to see what happens next because it's getting really, really interesting and getting much, much better, and it actually shows. This is probably the best episode by far in an American Horror Story season, and the reason I say that is because everything comes together full circle. The episode was written by Manny Cotto, Brad Fulchek, and Our Lady J. You got Brad Fulchek and Manny Cotto writing an episode. You know it's going to be insane. You know it's going to be crazy. Throw in Our Lady J in it, and I mean, absolutely mind blowing. I had a blast with this episode. And to everyone saying that this episode or this season is boring, no, give it time. Who cares about the subject matter, what it is? Just watch it. The horror elements are there. They're front and center, and it shows, especially with the aspects of how things are done, the interesting gore and everything. And it's done so well that your jaw is to the floor. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I can't stress enough that this is probably the best episode I've ever seen of American Horror Story, just by the context of how all the characters come together and how certain things happen. Because I was like, "What? Holy shit!" It is a holy shit moment, and it throws you for a loop for sure, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 6, season 11 of American Horror Story NYC, titled The Body. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about that big twist in this season that came in this episode? Did you figure it out? Did you not figure it out? What was your reaction when you first noticed it and spotted? And what do you think now is going to happen now that all the dominoes have fallen and everything is coming into place? And what do you think is going to happen with every character? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episodes 7 and 8 review of season 11 of American Horror Story NYC.